Good morning, guys and gals. I miss you. I miss you more than you can even imagine. I miss being in my classroom and seeing you there. But here we are, sitting in my kitchen, and amid this very strange situation. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed all of our lives. It has caused us to have to do things differently. It's caused us to stay home. When we go out, wear a mask. Wash our hands a lot. And while that's a good thing, it is kind of crazy. Use hand sanitizer. I couldn't find any, so I had to order alcohol and aloe vera gel and make some. And it's caused us to have to do learning online. Now, I will be honest, that has introduced another whole set of problems. Face-to-face learning is how I prefer it, but that's not our option right now. So here we are. I made this video to say hello, but also to talk about a project I would like to introduce and invite you to participate in. Whether you are my student now or were my student in the past or have never been in my class, I invite you to participate in this project. This project is going to be an artistic response project, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But this project is for every single student in our district. Atkinson students will be making a book as an artistic response to the COVID pandemic. All of the other schools in our district, Harris, Batalny, Estrella, Desert Sands, every school is participating in this same project. This response is your opportunity to express how this pandemic has affected you. Throughout history, there have been opportunities for artists to respond to significant events. Following the 9/11 crisis, there was an amazing amount of art created to respond to that event. During the 1960s and 70s, the United States was involved in a war in another country, Vietnam. And people had many different opinions about that. And artists responded to that war with artwork to let other people know how it had made them feel. Memorials are an artistic response. When you go to a cemetery, there's a headstone. Somebody designed that to memorialize or to remember an individual. An artistic response is a way of remembering something. And right now, we are in a time that our country, no country, has ever experienced before. Everyone in the world has been affected by this. This has not affected only wealthy people, it's not affected only poor people, it's not affected any particular race of people. We are all being affected by this. And so I thought it was a very important time to remember. And coincidentally, the fourth quarter standards in art have to do with making art to show personal meaning. So I have designed a project for us to be able to do that. And I hope that you will want to participate. I want to show you some examples of artwork that I've made in the past to respond to specific events. This is a card that I made for my son when he was getting ready to go on a trip. And it was the first time that he would have been going away from me for 2 weeks. That was a long time. And he was going far. He was going to Europe on a boys' choir trip. And so one of the things that I do when somebody goes away from me for a while to remember that they're really not very far away is I tell them that they can go look at the stars at night, and I'll look at the stars, and we'll both be doing the same thing. And that's my own personal way of dealing with people who go away from me for a while. So on this card, it's a box, and inside the box there's a little treble clef because he was going on a music tour, and there's a picture of him that I had taken when we went hiking one time, because we do a lot of that. And then I painted the box so that it would look like the night sky. And I found a piece of foil that had been on a page that had a bunch of silver stickers, and I pasted it across the bottom, and it turns out there's about 14 stars here. He was going to be gone for 14 days. So this was my response to him going away, so that I would remember that event. When I graduated from college, I created a lithograph. It's a special kind of a print made on a stone. And I didn't want to buy the announcement that the university sold because that I didn't feel like it represented me. So I made my own, I guess, graduation announcement as a response to my having completed my education. And so it has my name and my degree and the university. And it has a leaf, because one of the things that I find very beautiful are leaves. And there are lots of beautiful leaves in Flagstaff. And so this was for me to remember that event. A long time ago, when I was much younger, I think I was 25 or something, I worked at a camp in southern England, and I met a friend in Greece and celebrated my birthday with her. And it must have been an important birthday. Maybe I was 25 or something. That was a really long time ago. But this is the response that I made to that event. When I came home, I collected all of those objects. I was in Greece, and this is a drachma. That's the currency they use in Greece. And this is the ticket from going on the ferry from Italy to Greece. And these represent the candles. There were probably many more. And this was a matchbook that we got from the restaurant to light all of those candles. And the gold represents the shining light that the candles would have made, probably because there were so many candles. But this was a response to that event that I wanted to remember. It was a really fun time in my life, and so I did that. And the last response I have was actually made by my uncle. And he went to a performance of dance in Phoenix many, many, many years ago. He studied art at Arizona State University, and then he became a regular 5th grade teacher. But he went to see a performance of a ballet group or a modern dance group at Desert Botanical Gardens, I think probably in the 50s. That's a really long time ago. And he was so taken by the shapes that the bodies of the dancers made and by their movement that he created a piece of art to remember that event. And this piece hangs in my house. I love this piece. It's called The Dancer. And when you look at her, you can see the side of her body and the front of her body. Remember that style of art, Cubism, right? And she is an abstract figure. There's not really a face, but we can see what she's doing partly by these lines that we see. That's the movement that she is creating, but also by the title. This piece of art my uncle told me he loved because he said he could still remember the movement of these dancers as they were dancing in and among the trees. The colors that he used are sort of subtle desert colors, and he said they were colorful, but no more colorful than the actual plants. And so this was in response to an event that was significant to him.